Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Red4765, Midnight Gemlord, Artgoon, and Sean. Okay, so I love Disaster. I think Disaster is fundamentally amazing. I think Disaster is arguably the best standalone magical ability in the entire series outside the ones that are literally just stupid, like Inversion, the Demon King's power, so on and so forth. Complete immunity to physical attacks, all that. But I also, as a massive fan of Disaster, must say, darn is it underutilized. Like, realistically, for the capabilities that the ability has, why is it so not used? Like, in every single fight where King does an ounce, a speck, an iota of damage, where is it? Where is the Disaster? Where is the status promotion? I'm sorry, you're telling me in all your fights, King, you only found the time to use it once against Meliodas? You think that wouldn't have been useful against Chandler? You probably would have one-shot it. Well, obviously not one-shot him. But after one hit, all you need to do was status promotion that bad boy. And he's done. Gloxinia. I don't know what. Someone literally just said Gloxinia's name reminds him of that, and ever since I cannot get Gloxinia out of my head. Like, he just stays strapped. But he do have that Basquiat on him at all times, so you know he stays strapped. But Gloxinia, you are also a fairy king with the magical ability known as Disaster. You were fighting Meliodas. Why did you not amplify that thing so he split in half? Every little tiny cut, every little bit of damage, I would have been spit. And this is just like one ability of Disaster, but status promotion, so stupid. The fact that they weren't using that left and right, like, I get it. It breaks the series. Like, legitimately, if you have King appear in any battle and have him actually start using his tactical abilities or using his magic well, we have problems. We have infinite problems. That's not, and this is just talking on King's magical ability and not his Spirit Spear. There's a super underutilized form of the Spirit Spear that may get its own video, but legitimately, Disaster alone is so cracked, and it's a shame and honestly disgusting that the Kings don't spam it as much as they do. Legitimately, think about it. Even removing ourselves from status promotion, which is a crazy thing of itself, the ability to just promote any wound to a next level just because you pointed in the general direction of somebody. Crazy. But also the fact that you can just make people sick. You can just amplify any lingering ailments. Does someone have a possibility for, the big C? Just explode it. Just make them have it. 100%. Because notably, there's no express limit. And obviously, I know, no limits fallacy is wrong and bad, and I should not assume that in any circumstances. But hold on, allow me to chef it up a little bit. The idea that anybody has lingering ailments, illnesses, weaknesses, stuff like that. The fact that the Kings have the ability to just say, hey, you know that time you stubbed your toe 15 years ago? Well, guess what? Your toe's never been the same. Let's break it off. In this series where literally every single character has taken unbelievable amounts of battle damage, let's just not allow you to get away with that scot-free, and let's amplify that and literally bisect you in the cases of some characters. Because some characters have been bisected. All it takes is one directional input, like down, left, right, up, down, left, and bada bing, bada boom, they're gone. Because they literally exploded. Like, come on now. That ability, cracked. We don't get much nature manipulation. For the two fairy kings, realistically, Disaster, which fully enables control over all of nature itself, from trees to plants to anything realistically organic, if status promotion is to be believed as an extension of Disaster, they'd never do it. And, I get it. Trees aren't necessarily the strongest thing ever, but, like, trees are still kind of pretty strong, especially considering you can reinforce them with magic. Like, you can reinforce anything with magic in Seven Deadly Sins. You can reinforce your big toe with magic in Seven Deadly Sins. So the fact that we don't have people like King and Gloxinia spamming, and I mean spamming, trees, poisonous vines, anything, making anything they want, crazy. I just don't know why. Why not? That's the thing. It's the biggest question. Why not? It's not even like that would break the series like status promotion would. Because status promotion, I admit, I get why it was touched on once and then never used again, because if you keep using it, it gets tragic. New pattern. And the thing is, you could also have moments where they just make armies, where they just fully sit down and grind out an entire army. Gloxinia's Fairy Servant, that little Gerharde copy he made out of the grass in like 5 seconds, was strong enough to start manhandling Gideon Diane. Like character that is nutty in terms of strength. He could make whole armies of those. Just boom. Then you have multiple things that can also control the field. Absolutely manipulate a battlefield. Battlefield manipulation in general. Sure, in a series like 7 Deadly Sins, where everyone and their mother can either fly or absolutely annihilate a battlefield by simply existing, it's not as potent as it could be, but you can just make it more tricky for your opponents to move. You can just jack up your opponent's sensory abilities. You can make them legitimately suffer in terms of just moving around. And the thing is, Disaster, technically, I can already hear the comments now. Disasters are going to be like, or no, my fellow King and Gloxinia stands, and I guess like all 2 Dahlia fans. I saw that poll. Shout out to the 1% of y'all who voted for Dahlia, because jeez, did he do something to y'all? Y'all did nothing. But regardless, my top 2 supporters out there was like, well, Disasters would allow them to use the Spirit Spears to the level. Are you saying the Spirit Spears aren't used properly? No, but I don't consider the Spirit Spears Disasters. I consider them the Spirit Spears. So I think those are separate and deserve their own video for how they're underutilized in some ways. But in terms of Disaster itself, in terms of that good Disaster sauce, that Disaster juice, if you will, it kind of goes crazy that it never gets utilized to the proper degree. And realize it's not just in like, I'll make things worse. I'll make things more terrible for you. I will literally give you the that lingering chance, that one cell that's about to split the wrong way, I will explode that into a tumor the size of your head. Like, not that, but you realize King, Gloxinia, Dahlia, they could be cracked healers too. Because as Merlin says upon Disaster's proper introduction, they don't just control, some trees, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. No, they control life and death itself. Like, hypothetically, they could just close the wounds by status demoting them. Uh-oh, you have a massive gash in you? Let's just make it so that you didn't. They could just heal. They could just undo it. Every single bit of damage. Gloxinia did not need to spam Drop of Life. He could have just status demoted every single wound Droll ever took. Every single wound he himself ever took. He can just remove them. Make them back to normal. Because, status promotion and status demotion are abilities they have as Fairy King that govern life and death itself. Like, these guys are monsters. They are monsters and they just don't know it. Or at least they don't use it as they should. Like, legitimately start spamming. Like, just on a support front. Like, let's say we take the Spirit Spears away. We just remove them from their kit entirely. With Disaster alone, they could be literally the best support fighters in the entire series. The only character in literally the whole series that could hypothetically, well, 2. Maybe 2 if you consider Disaster just nature magic, and then maybe it'll fall apart. Like Sunshine did, not Sunshine, like Sunflower did against the Supreme Deity. But the Supreme Deity and the Demon King, the 2 broken hacks characters, they're the only ones that Disaster may not work against. That's it. Because the Demon King can inverse all magic, but even then, like, if you status demote the Demon King, then his wounds are going to explode. So not even that. The Demon King isn't even immune. And if you think the only reason the Supreme Deity was able to completely ignore Sunflower is because Sunflower fires a beam of light, and obviously she controls light itself, then hypothetically there's no one who has a good solid counter to being status promoted or status demoted. There's nothing. There's no one who could just genuinely ignore it, except for Zeldris. Demon King powers Zeldris, which is a character that doesn't even exist anymore. Demon King powers Zeldris is the only character who could be outright immune to something like that, because magic just doesn't work on them. But that leaves the entire rest of the verse. Everyone else is not safe. These guys could do crazy things with just Disaster. Imagine them manipulating an entire battlefield. Trees that reach the heavens. You have them tearing out every single lingering pain you have. Uh-oh, your bone isn't fully healed yet? Bada bing, bada boom. You don't have a bone anymore. uh-oh, you seem to be doing too well. Allow me to status demote you. Ironically enough, if you push status demotion to its limit and argue that it can be like literally used to control life and death, they could just make you younger. They could status demote your age. So you're in the prime of your life, a 30-something-year-old man, and bada bing, bada boom, King Glox and you'll look at you the wrong way and say, you know what, no, get small. And you just get small. You can just do that. And the thing is, not only do you just get to make plants of all different varieties, but you also get to have them have special properties. King somehow erased Diane's memories with the rose. That is a power that he never shows again. But just imagine hitting somebody with some sort of plant of any kind. It pierces them because they're not paying attention, and suddenly they are amnesiac. Like they just have no memories at all. What? Like that is crazy. The whole ability is crazy. The fact that they don't use it as much as they should is crazy. Though I do get it, right? Like on a sheer writing front, if I'm Nakaba, I can't let the ability be expressed properly because then it snaps the series. So many dangerous fights get trivialized if King and Gloxinia actually thought about things. If they actually sat back and said, hold on, wait a second, I have access to so many abilities right now. Even without the Spirit Spears, what can I use them for? And boom, the series is done. The plot over, tension gone. Every single wound any character takes instantly gets demoted to a tiny cut or just non-existent, and every single little bit of damage the enemy takes is exploded. Literally over half the cast is battle hardened. I'd say a solid 99% of the cast is just battle hardened warriors. They have lingering wounds. They have scars and stuff like that. They are characters that are very susceptible to having those old wounds or any lingering joint pain or anything like that amplified to infinity by the Fairy Kings. So obviously we cannot have them going all out and snapping and going dumb stupid, because if they go too dumb stupid, we don't have a plot. So I get it. I understand it. But gosh darn it, Disaster is so underutilized. However, that's what I think. Please let what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And see the little notification bells to miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below and support for as low as $1 a month. You'll exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is DAHLIA the Pencil, writing off.